Finally, today we have the 10th day of reveals, and I say finally because it is one that we won't have to go to the drawing board and just rewrite all of our theories and stuff like that. Today's reveal is a lot more tame, a lot more neutral. It's just a small little bit of quality of life. Frankly, I think even if you want to avoid spoilers, you should have a look-see at what they've put out here. But it's a light reveal today. We're not sure what's going to happen for the rest of the 5 days. There's still a lot of relics outstanding, so I imagine that Jagex is going to bless us with the absolute most hype reveals for the remaining 5 days, given we've just had combat masteries and today's reveal is a lot more tame. Without further ado, let's get into the reveal. Alrighty, so they say they're just 1 week away from leagues. They've posted this on Twitter and they've updated the blog, but the graphics on Twitter are much prettier, so we are going to go look at it on here. So every 500 likes, they unlock a sneak peek. This threshold has been met like instantaneously. It already has like 6k likes, so let's just go down for each of them. Okay, so for the first reveal, everyone will now be able to purchase a max cape from the Sage of Lumbridge upon reaching max total level, regardless of your regions. So this is really big because before you need it as Guardian to get a max cape, and wearing a max cape gives you a lot of points in the leagues in general. So there's a lot of utility you can get with the max cape. I just have to say, I'm like really impressed with the league's team, because when I think of something like this from a programming perspective, I'm like, how did you account for all the edge cases? Because a max cape has so much utility to allow you to do just teleports everywhere. Either the code has been designed for the max cape like extremely nicely and compactly, or they really just went hard on every single edge case and like really went in and tested everything. So far, I think every leagues it's just oh no, I don't know about every leagues, but last leagues everything went off without a hitch, no huge game breaking bugs. So yeah, huge props to the team to just allow us to do this. But yeah, I'm just glazing a little bit, please don't mind me. We get a max cape from Lumbridge, really cool. The second reveal, rocks, trees, respawnable items, and main world NPCs will now respawn faster than the main game. Wow. Okay, so this is just good in general for anything you do skilling wise, but immediately in my head what I thought of were Slayer mobs, and specifically anything that you can chin and barrage. They're just going to respawn very quickly. If you go Varlamore in any of your regions, you could get the goading potions, and instead of having to attract all these NPCs right away, they'll just follow suit when they spawn in. Also very cool. Okay, for the third reveal, clues can now toggle shared leagues between broadcasts, including relic area, rank, and combat mastery achievements. They'll clearly different from normal broadcasts within the league symbol next to player names. This is a type of stuff that almost every private server has. So I'm really glad, like in the underground space. So I'm really glad to see that Leagues is pushing harder in this direction to make it as easy as possible for people to play, because the main game is just so much more tedious than this Leagues version that we're having coming up. But yeah, if you are in a clan, this is good news for you. Doesn't really apply much to me, but it is pretty neat that we get to see this. Maybe they'll trial this and then have something in the main game related, who knows, or allow us to customize our own if Projects and Ares ever gets that far. For the fourth reveal, Zulrah is no longer immune to melee damage and has no damage cap, meaning melee weapons that can reach are viable. Okay, so in this video, they have the Noxious Halberd being used, which is what I expected to be the case, that you would need a ranged melee weapon. Things like the Hespori Echo weapon also would apply here, and any halberd you could get your hands on. Specifically, Noxious Halberd would go pretty hard. Other than that, I don't think you can do things with a scythe, but this is just good quality of life. Specifically, the big thing here is that there's no damage cap, so you can burst Zulrah. If you have like a 2-tick T-bow, tier 6 or whatever, or if you just have like even a regular blowpipe, trident, anything like that, no damage cap, you're just going to go hard, for sure. The fifth reveal, rather than and also I just want to point out my own I have a bias against Zulrah. I don't like this grind. Every time I played a private server, this would always be like a D block of like, oh, we gotta go kill Zulrah for the blowpipe because it's just so crucial in your Iron Man journey, and now they're just making it easier for us to do that, so thank you Jagex for that. The fifth reveal, rather than receiving a twisted bow from Cox, scythe from Tob, or shadow from TOA, you will instead receive a voucher, a mega rare voucher, which can be given to the stage for a weapon of your choice. Good. This means that you won't have to roll like twisted bow into a twisted bow if you're going for something like a scythe. This is really neat. It means you only have to hit the mega rare table 3 times to get all 3 mega rares, or 1 time to get the specific mega rare that you're looking for. So you can get like Scythe from Toa, for example. Very, very cool. The only minus that I have here is that I really enjoy seeing the mega rare itself like in the raid. It's like, wow, there it is. It's like, there's the item, you know, but what can you do? This is obviously a good change. Okay, for the 6th reveal. Instances have been created for Cerberus, Arachnus, and the Thermonuclear Smoke Devil. We've also removed the timer when attempting to enter a Daganov King's instance shortly after leaving. This is good for like the first 2 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. This has marginal utility because like as less and less people need to push for these bosses, the less crowded it becomes, the less useful this sort of thing is. But in the beginning, you will prefer having this over having it be a public area so that you don't get ragged or you don't have to fight over bosses and just AFK all the time. That's not what League should be about. This is the first L for Total Recall because you won't be able to use it within any of these bosses, including the Daganov Kings, before you get the Echo Boss orb drop from the normal DKs. You won't be able to use Total Recall then. You'll have to Total Recall outside or Clue Hop or something like that. Or maybe you Total Recall to like Ferox and then use the Clue Compass to get back to DKs if you have Fremnik in the Wilderness. So yeah, it's like a bit of an L for Total Recall. Still will be taking it regardless, but this is a thing, so you won't have to worry about things being places being too crowded. You could just get right into it. Pretty good. The 7th reveal. Tormented demons will be accessible without needing to complete while Gutik sleeps, meaning the only requirement is a Sapphire Lantern, which is always... I never know how to actually make one, so I'll have to look it up every single time. But yeah, having TDs unlocked immediately is huge. You could check out, well, I think one of my, when they released the component stuff for the component reveal for all regions, I went over how impactful this is to have TDs unlocked and be able to make any of the weapons, including the Ember Light, without needing an Arc Light. So massive stuff. The question that comes in my mind is, does this mean that Defender of Varrock is unlocked? Because if so, Defender of Varrock offers 2 things for utility. It offers multi-area for armored zombies. This is huge for chinning and for barraging if you don't have other accessible areas, especially for your starting regions, if you have like chins or if you're getting ancients with the grimoire, that sort of thing. So that is one huge benefit to Defender of Varrock. And the other benefit is that you get the zombie axe, and the zombie axe is a fantastic melee weapon, especially because it's going to be going from 5 tick to 4 tick almost immediately in the start of your playthrough because of the tier 3 passive from Combat Masteries. You can also see my breakdown on that. So we'll have to see, but hopefully if we do get zombie axe, that is like the thing I will be getting for Moons as well, and for early game farming before all the multi-hit weapons that will come from the Perilous Moons dungeon. That's just for my playthrough. For the 8th reveal, potions and ingredients sourced during the Duke Succulus fight will no longer be removed from your inventory when waking Duke, meaning you'll spend less time running back and forth for potions, more time PVMing. This should be a main game feature. It is shocking that it is not still, but we have it here in leagues. I took Fremnik in the last leagues. This was a huge cumbersome thing, a huge hindrance in the enjoyment of killing Duke, because there's nothing in leagues that lets you speed up the potion process, which is literally half, if not in leagues like 90% of the fight for Duke, because his actual HP pool is so low and most of the time you're just getting potions. This is a huge W for Fremnik, huge W for anyone who wants to do Duke like myself. And this will make things like the Soul Reaper axe potentially the fastest grind out of the 4 Desert Treasure 2 bosses. Remains to be seen though. For the final 9th reveal, pet cosmetic overrides are now carried over between leagues, including any you might have unlocked in Trailblazer Reloaded, but not prior leagues. So unlucky if you do have any of the transmogs before the previous leagues, but if you have been playing leagues before that time, you probably have the cosmetic already from the last leagues. It's been a minute, so this is just a little nice thing for anyone who actually has the transmogs. So there are a bunch of pets that get them. All the raids pets you can get transmogs for. You can get transmogs for beavers. You can get transmogs for the Tangle Root as well. So now you'll be able to keep these, and importantly, they've even retroactively updated them from Trailblazer Reloaded. So huge W for the team that is responsible for tracking all of these metrics. But that is it. That's what we have so far. So we just had the 9 reveals for quality of life. No complaints. and we'll have to see what else the reveals will bring us. There are, once again, 5 days left of reveals before leagues actually begins on the 27th of November, the day before Thanksgiving for US holidays. But yeah, there's 5 days left, which means that we'll probably get some really cool reveals, because we don't even know what the late game relics are going to be, nor do we know the passives for each of the relic tiers. That's probably what we'll expect coming up in the near future. But yeah, that's it. Just a small change today, non-contentious, everything good. We'll just have to see what else they have in store for us. But yeah, that's pretty much me for today. That's all I have to say, and I'll probably be uploading a PVM video today as well regarding the monkey room at TOA. So if you have trouble with that, stick around for that, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later.